What's up, everyone? It's Grimm once again with another episode of 31 Nights, 31 Frights. Every night in October, I'm doing a horror micro review to see if this film might be a worthy addition to your own Halloween viewing lineup. Tonight, we wrap up our anthology trilogy, if that even can be a thing, with All Hallows' Eve 2. Let's check out the Lowdown. Release date for this film was October 6th, 2015. Runs about an hour and a half, hour 31 minutes if you want to get technical, and it is unrated. As far as the cast and crew go, I will let you guys go ahead and check those out on IMDb. There's multiple films here with a whole lot of names, a little bit too many to cover in any kind of detail here, but be sure to check out IMDb if you're interested and get a look at the folks who made this film and starred in it. All Hallows' Eve 2 is a follow-up to 2013's All Hallows' Eve. Like the original, this film's setup is a wraparound story featuring a woman who receives a VHS tape on Halloween night. And fortunately, she has a VHS player. Otherwise, this would be a short film. Well, one short film instead of many short films. The tape contains a series of short films which comprise the anthology components of this film. Throughout the night, and through some of the films, she catches a glimpse of the film's overall villain, dubbed the Trickster, who wears a creepy jack-o'-lantern mask. The film plays out much like the original, except instead of Art the Clown, we have the Trickster with the jack-o'-lantern mask, who isn't quite as creepy as the guy in the clown getup. There's slightly less emotional investment, as the protagonist this time is a single woman who isn't very interesting and who doesn't really have any personal connections or anything that we feel she could be losing. And she's the one who receives the tape and goes about watching it. The films themselves are a mixed bag. Out of all of them, I enjoyed The Last Halloween the most. It featured some great spooky imagery, it crossed several subgenres, and it ends with quite a surprise. The wraparound segment was a little bit less interesting just because, again, there was no personal connection with the girl. But the Trickster wasn't a bad villain. He was pretty creepy. The mask was a little spooky looking, but honestly, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Is it worth it? Not especially. I really only enjoyed The Last Halloween. The rest of the films weren't terrible. They weren't special either. They were very unremarkable. If you want a Halloween anthology film, I highly recommend you would go with Trick or Treat or possibly Tales of Halloween as maybe a runner-up to that. Those are far, far superior. The shorts are much more interesting, and they're just better made overall. All Hallows' Eve 2 gets 1.5 Grimms, and it only gets that high of a rating because of The Last Halloween, which, as I said, was pretty good. That's it for this edition of 31 Nights, 31 Frights. Thanks for listening and watching. I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and checking out all of the other shows we have to offer here at Grimm's Scary Tales.